Today, I'd like to speak to you about theft in the mining industry. My name is Jamie Rogers. I'm the VP of Operations at Western Protection Alliance. In mining, theft is not a property issue. It becomes an operational risk very quickly. There's a number of particular risks for theft, such as fuel, copper, radios, PPE, vehicles, equipment. Today, I'd like to speak to you about equipment in particular as a target for theft in mining. Due to the nature of a remote location mine, a number of the pieces of equipment are very mobile. And on top of that, depending on the stage of the project, quite often the logistics and the placement and monitoring of these assets is not particularly tight. An example, a welding rig, which can be located in a laydown yard, and the first person drops it off after their rotation or their shift. Next person picks it up, uses it, and drops it in a different location. So people aren't really keeping track of these types of things. And unless you have some mitigation in place, be it RFID tagging or even some less formal options such as Apple AirTags or something where you're really sort of keeping track on these pieces of equipment, they can go walkabout very quickly and nobody really can speak to where they are. So based on the value of some of these assets, it's definitely in the best interest of the project leads to make an effort to monitor these pieces of equipment. Heavy equipment in general can cover any number of different pieces of equipment. I just use the welding rig as an example because quite often those are the things that go missing. Tools is another point that could be considered. Not necessarily heavy equipment, however, they can be very valuable and they can also go missing very quickly. Exploration camps in general are quite a bit more vulnerable as the early stage projects have fewer cameras, fewer guards, potentially different contractors coming in and out, rotating shifts. So exploration projects in general are easier targets for this type of theft. Depending on the size of the project, some very large pieces of equipment could go missing and they wouldn't be noticed for some period of time. And due to the remote location of some of these projects, it's quite hard to track down these items after the fact. So in the case of heavy equipment going missing in the mines, security should be layered and not reactive. So, a strong plan may include controlled access points to make sure that if anything's leaving the site, that it's monitored and reported so that people know when the equipment's leaving the site. Visitor logs, vehicle inspections, patrols, camera coverage, lighting, lock control, inventory audits, all these things play into the preservation of assets in the remote location sites. In a nutshell, one guard at a gate is not a complete theft prevention program at any project. Theft prevention in a mine isn't about catching somebody after the fact or trying to track down your piece of equipment months later. It's about protecting the operations before the loss happens. Replacements for a number of these items could be hundreds of kilometers away if available at all, which of course can cost the project much more in time loss than the actual cost of the piece of equipment. You can contact me directly at rogers@westernalliance.ca if you'd like more information, or you can call us here directly at 604-271-7475. And don't forget to like and subscribe.